When I think about the biggest stars of the Ruthless Aggression era, of course you have John Cena, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, Edge, Kane, Rey Mysterio, but one that comes to my mind that had one of the most underrated runs at the ending of the era leading into the PG era is Batista. I truly do think, even though people know how big Batista was in the 2000s, that his legacy was kinda brought down by the run he had in 2014. And that's not to say that the run was bad, but obviously it did not go according to the plan that he or the company had in mind for it. But if you look at his run in the 2000s, I truly do believe there's a lot of great things to pull from it, but what's so shocking about it when I was going through it is that it really wasn't that long. Batista won his first world title that put him over as a real single star in 2005 at WrestleMania 21 from Triple H. It would only be a 5-year run, as in 2010 he would leave the company shortly following WrestleMania 26. Now of course he did have a run before 2005 with Evolution, but the real run that people do remember was his run from 05 to 2010 as a single star. And for people actually watching it in real time, you wouldn't have thought that it was actually that short. But nonetheless, when I look at Batista's run, I do believe, even though there were some great things in the middle, in the beginning, and everything in between, I still do think the best part of his run came towards the tail end of it, his heel run. Because for those who don't know, throughout most of Batista's tenure, excluding the last couple of months, he was a babyface. He started off his singles run by beating Triple H not once, not twice, but 3 straight times clean. Side note, shout out to Triple H. People say he doesn't do the job for people and put people over. All he did was bury guys back then, which to an extent is true, but this was definitely not one of those cases, and it was a big reason why Batista became the star that he later on became. Batista though would then go on to have some great matches in the 2000s. I loved his feuds and matches with The Undertaker. The WrestleMania 23 match was one of the best matches that The Undertaker has had in his WrestleMania tenure. What's crazy about it is that a lot of people didn't think that match would be that good, but they superseded so many expectations. Batista also has some pretty good matches with guys like Edge, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, and countless others. And throughout all of this time, he was a babyface. And how could he not be? He had one of the best theme songs in WWE history, I Walk Alone. I love that track. Pair that with the entrance that he had coming out hyped as hell, go to one side of the stage, the other side of the stage, and then he would do his little pyro shit. It was so live. And on top of that, the man had drip. If you go back to that first World Heavyweight Championship reign, I'm talking about the white turtlenecks coming out. You can see it right here. My man's is dripping head to toe. Hell, look at this fit right here. You see the Gucci watch? You see the leather jacket? My goodness, my man's is going crazy. Until October 25th, 2009, in a fatal 4-way match with CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, and The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship, Batista would not only lose that match, but he was actually the one who took the pin. Following the match, Batista would be so frustrated and he turned on Rey Mysterio, who was his longtime friend that earlier on in their careers were tag team champions at one point.
You're supposed to be my friend!
And that makes a lot of sense, because if you really want to get some heat in this company, just do something bad to Rey Mysterio. I remember the next night on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio was begging for answers. Batista came out, shades on, black shirt, and straight up told Rey, man, get that bullshit out my face, nigga. I'm not fucking with you. And then Rey Mysterio crying, he's like, bro, what about Eddie? What about Eddie? And Batista said, bro, Eddie is dead. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. He really put the stamp on the heel turn with that promo right there, I'm telling you. They went on to have a couple of matches in which Batista baked the shit out this dude. I think they even had one match where Batista hit 3 straight Batista bombs on him. The ref had to get involved and say, yo, chill, no more, bruh. And it's wild because even at that time, I was still rocking with Batista. I was like, what, 10, 11 years old? But I still was rocking with him, man, I'm sorry. He would come out in some of the nicest little polo tees. He'd wear the vests. His promos got a lot better. He'd show way more personality than he's ever done. And one of the best improvements about this run was the spotlight entrance. My goodness, I love that spotlight entrance. Come out to the ring, point to himself, the spotlight is all on him, just like a real heel would. Hell, I rocked with Batista so much, I remember he had a championship match at TLC, a chairs match. By the way, I hate chairs matches, but he had a match with Undertaker for the world title, and I remember he actually got the visual pin. He pinned him by using a low blow. Teddy Long, though, would come out and say, oh, that's a cheap move, restart the match, and Undertaker won. I remember being so pissed because how can you make chair shots legal, but you can't use a low blow? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. It's all good though, because Batista freed himself from the Teddy Long stupidity going to Raw shortly after. And hell, I do remember there was one segment that's one of the funniest segments you can find. They did a parody of the whole Kanye and Taylor Swift thing with Maria and Batista at the Slammies. Maria's out here accepting her award. Batista's like, yo, back up, I'm happy for you, but let's talk about the greatest award ever, Screwjob of the Year. Oh man, Batista was so funny. He had the whole pink polo on. He was like, yo man, I got robbed, man. They made that nigga look like Kanye. But let's fast forward a little bit to the big highlight of Batista's run, the WWE Championship win. So leading up to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in 2010, Batista had a qualifying match against CM Punk on SmackDown. Batista would do something very shocking, and instead of actually competing for the match, he walked out and took a count-out loss. It was shocking to see for several reasons, but the main one is that he spent all year trying to get back that World Heavyweight Championship and he just gave up the opportunity. In the meantime, he was also going to Raw to help Vince McMahon attack John Cena and beat up Bret Hart. So something was going on, but you just couldn't put your finger on it. But then on February 21st, 2010, it all became clear after John Cena won his Elimination Chamber match. He was the new WWE Champion, and who did Vince McMahon send out to have a match immediately after for the WWE Championship? You guessed it, Batista. He went on to beat Cena in short order, of course, and became the WWE Champion for the second time in his career. Cena and Batista would then have a rematch the next night on Raw, and if Cena won, he would get a rematch for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Batista, though, purposely got himself disqualified with a low blow, and then for good measure, for fun, just beat the shit out of John Cena anyway.
Beat up John Cena! Beat up John Cena! Beat up John Cena!
Batista then the next week would cut, in my opinion, probably his best promo to date. He talked to John Cena and told him, I lost that match last week on purpose. I want to face you at WrestleMania. He would then go on to basically just bury the shit out of John Cena.
You want to know what I think? I don't want to know what you think. I don't care what you think. What you think is irrelevant.
God, if you just go back and watch Batista, the anger and fury in this man's eyes were hilarious. And the funniest shit is that while he's saying all this, he's got this hilarious vest on, the shades, the skinny jeans, and there's a bunch of security on stage. You know, those little geeks they get from the indie shows for $500 each. And he pulls the line telling John Cena, hey, these guards aren't here to protect me. They're here to protect you. God. Oh man, Batista even pulled the line. He was like, dog, whenever we're in the ring, bad things happen to you. I beat your ass last week for the hell of it. I beat you at Elimination Chamber and took your WWE Championship. And the last time we had a one-on-one match a couple years ago at SummerSlam, I broke your neck, which is actually a true story, by the way. So Batista had some real claims that John Cena could not beat him. It was backed up in actual fact, but the real money line was this right here.
Keep on kissing babies and hugging fat girls, and I'm gonna be in a gym somewhere thinking about beating the hell out of you at WrestleMania.
You couldn't have wrote it any better. Kissing babies and hugging fat girls is hilarious. And Cena, if you see his face during this promo, he just looks so dejected, like, man, is this guy right? Am I really not shit? Man, he had Cena second guessing himself for real. Batista would later go on to cut some really hilarious promos. I remember he had a promo in the ring with John Cena where he said to the crowd, when I look at you guys, I don't see people. I see money, 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 dollar signs, dollar signs.
With some of you, a lot of dollar signs, because I see a lot of fat people in the audience, and I know you paid for 2 seats. Thank you very much.
Man, when I tell you, this guy went on a tear with this run as WWE Champion. Unfortunately, though, the reign as champion didn't last too long as John Cena beat him at WrestleMania 26. They'd go on to have 2 more matches at Over the Limit and Extreme Rules, which John Cena did win, last man standing matches, and an I Quit match. And after the I Quit match, Batista in storyline was injured. Bret Hart asked him to compete. Batista refused because he was not cleared. So Bret Hart, surprisingly in a dick move, said, hey, we're just gonna advance Randy Orton, you forfeit. Batista told him if he didn't reverse the decision, he's gonna quit. And that's exactly what he did. He quit in the middle of the ring like a typical heel. And that was it. That was the end of Batista's heel run from late 2009 to mid-early 2010. We're talking about really a 7-month run, and it was still the best work that he had done as a character throughout his entire career. I really don't think we got enough of heel Batista. We saw some glimpses when he came back in 2014 and for that one-off match with Triple H. I love that promo where he basically came out to the ring, showed the montage of him beating Triple H over and over and over. And then after the montage, it was the perfect example of less being more with his promo.
Hunter, kiss my.
I really do wish we got some more heel Batista. There was some untapped potential there, but hey, I can't complain because what we got was still great, and I'm just glad we got something at all. But you guys let me know what you thought about the heel Batista run down below in the comment section. Don't forget to also like this video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell for post notifications. This is your boy Young Mustard signing out. Y'all stay safe and have a blessed day. Peace.